Okay, so we're auto recording, and you can just introduce yourself, your name, your age, and where we are, and where you're from.
Okay. Okay. My name is Jana Roselani Barikuatro Kahaleanu. I was born on January 3, 1951. I'm 72 years old right now. And right now we're at Clarapana's house in Wailuku, Maui. And I came over yesterday um, on the ferry from Manele to Maalaya, Maui. And I live in Lanai City, Kamoku, Ahupua'a, on the island of Lanai.
And so, do you consider yourself an activist?
Well, I'm, um, and I never knew what an activist really is until like maybe until I was in adulthood, and uh, I heard a friend of mine refer to me as an activist, and when I asked that person, like, why do you say that, or why do you think I would be an activist? And he says, well, you're a protester, aren't you? And so that kind of defined the word for me, that an activist is a protester. And I didn't want to think of myself as being a protester or someone who would just be protesting about stuffs, But I came to realize a little bit later that um, an activist or a protester or they are they could also be known as patriots, which to me, aloha aina are patriots, and that's what I consider myself as. So, so now I know how. Now I believe that activists are actually just patriots, and aloha aina is it's synonymous with patriot, with a patriot to me. Yeah, Hawaiian patriot.
Is there? You said you didn't want to be associated with like the idea of a protester. Is there, or I guess why did you have that kind of like why was there a negative kind of
Because
perception?
mostly because of ignorance on my part. You know, ignorant of our history, and just ignorant, just not as knowledgeable as I am today about, especially about our history. That is my it if it is to be said that I have a purpose for for just being here. I feel that it would be to share my knowledge, limited as it is, but to share with, especially with our keiki, about the history of our country, because that was so, we never had that. Growing up as school children, we were, a lot of our history was just hidden for us for whatever political reasons there are. And my heart just still hurts for what I know now was hidden from our kupuna, and that the attempts um, to 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 ignore and dishonor our very history of Hawaii. You know, there's so much hidden from us throughout history, from our kupuna until now. You know, so much indoctrination going on, and so much deception and disrespect from our occupier. And that, you know, besides that, just the thought of all of that just makes me mad. It's more hurting my feelings, and to the point where I feel insulted with everything I read about what the military is allowed to get away with. You know, with our water, with all the fucking bombing, and but when Lahaina went down, I thought, oh my God, like, what more proof do we have that we have been under attack all of this time from the fucking USA and the military that is so heavily present in our country here. Yeah. Did I answer the question?
Because what would you say is the thing that motivated you to become knowledgeable, to start on this path?
Okay, from small kid time, and just, from just being outside and observing what I could as a child, I knew something was not right. That, okay, I'm Hawaiian. I know I have Hawaiian blood from my mom, and her from her mom. And I mean, but what does that mean? What does that mean for Hawaiian people in Hawaii? Why is it like this? Why is it that I made observations of haole behavior, against local people, and I never understand. I never understand and I was there with my two kids, and in 1993, when we did that march from Aloha Tower to the Iolani Palace, and this is how ignorant I was when we were sitting down to and Hanani was giving her speech, and when she sang, "We're not American, we're not American," I just was like, what? I mean, I was just in such shock, and I told my husband then and my kids, I said, "Oh, we better go." I mean, I was so, I did not understand until attended the college. It was Maui Community College at that time. Even before that, okay, in 1995, I read in the paper, I saw Charlie Maxwell's picture, and he was sitting on a moped, and he was looking at the Ku'e petition. And that was the first I learned about that. And then when I was in college and attending the MCC, my kumu, one of my kumus at that time, was Kumu Kalekoa, Kaeo. And he invited Keanu to give a talk at Baldwin High School, which I attended. And that was another shock. Like, it just confirmed to me that what our position was in what our meaning Hawaii, in this occupation that we are now living under. But okay, did I answer your question? What was the question?
The about what motivated you to become, to become aware of these things that you said, before was not necessarily on your radar. Like you didn't,
Yeah.
you didn't identify as an activist or as a
Yeah, no,
patriot
not as an activist, but I knew I was Hawaiian. I knew I was Kanaka. I knew I'm Native Hawaiian and all those other names they want to put on us. I knew I was all that, and then but what really put me on the path to activism is after I heard Keanu speak for the first time over here, and yeah, from the richest thing for me to know, to me, in my opinion, that okay, this is why as a kid I knew something was up. I never know what was or anything. So this kind of clarified it for me after I heard Keanu, after I heard him speak. Well, and of course from Kumu Kalekoa's teachings, he and his wife. I love them. I love attending school and attending their classes.
And so what did it motivate you to do? What did you end up doing after that?
Well, I do think, okay, my people are in a struggle, what capacity do I have to assist, I didn't know what all to do. And then I realized that, okay, girl, you can, if you found it to be like the richest thing that you gained was to learn about the illegal occupation of your country, then perhaps that's what you need to share with the children, especially with the children. And of course, I'm the Kulakaya Puni. I've always been an advocate for them, and especially on Lanai, since we were like the only island from freaking 1978 to a couple years ago, 2020 was 2020 when we finally got our Kulakaya Puni on Lanai. But yeah, so to me it's just to not have our children grow up as ignorant of these things as we were made to be, all that information that what we're supposed to learn, especially about our history, was purposely kept from us, and that still pisses me off to today.
What do you think of the impact on you and on the issues you care about? The impact of the work that you've been doing, how you've been moved to action.
On my how do I
What's the impact of this work?
On me.
On you and on the community, on the issues you care about, on the younger generations.
Oh, okay. Well, as far as like the community and the younger generation of at where I live, I wish I could say that I've made an impact, but I don't really think I have. Well, besides like going and talking to the Kumus and telling them that, well, we never grow up with all this stuff, and trying to find out without coming out with the exact words of like, are you teaching our kids this? Yeah, I try to be tactful, but I'm mad already, and I like know that I like make sure that they are being taught that, and I just well, I know I haven't been making as much of an impact as I want to, from my own observation of our kids nowadays on Lanai. And yeah, I'm a little bit distressed about that, but I just keep praying for improvement in the teachers that we have now. Did I answer the question? Oh.
How has your activism, your education work impacted your health, your mental health, your physical health?
I know in the field of mental health, that it my mental health, to my opinion, my own observation, is not the best, and I know it can be improved, and I mean my whole mental state, and so I have tried being in regular therapy, which that was last year November I started, and it was in this past August was my last appointment with the therapist, and I'm right now teetering on, and then the fire happened, and I just didn't get thrown off, just thrown off, and to the point where, I'm like, oh, do I want to go back? Do I need to go back, to therapy? And so I asked myself that, and I answered, girl, you do, so it's just a matter of when. And so now I'm thinking of resuming in January, because just like right now, nothing was going to stop me from coming on this trip. And in fact, I have this confession to make about, I caught this cold or whatever last week Wednesday, and I was trying to power through it, get rid of all this phlegm in my body. And so I've been taking a tea with lots of lemon juice and eating oranges. And so when yesterday came, I thought, okay, girl, if you don't get better, you don't want to go and spread no fucking germs, but I knew that I had so much to lose if I didn't come, and just so much to gain, for my own mental health and self-preservation, that I couldn't miss this trip. I had to be around you guys, and please God forgive me, and you folks forgive me if you catch any of my germs, but I was trying to keep it to myself by wearing my mask and shit, But I forget what the question was already.
Just the impact on your health.
Oh, okay. I know that I can get better if I'm just more active. If I'm gonna be, I have to be an activist to feel that I have, to feel any positive effects on my mental standing. So, did I answer your question?
Yeah. Just as long as anything you want to share, we can go on to the next question, but anything you want to share about, just the impact on your mental health, spiritual health, physical health, and how you feel working with other activists, other people.
Well, I guess that's one of the problems I had put on myself, is that in the depression I feel from my observations of what is going on is made me just go into isolation. I don't want to, I don't have the enthusiasm to be um, um, trying to make conversation with, with my neighbors or even with friends that have been calling me. I'm just like, I'm not in a place where I feel that I'm capable of like friendly, positive conversation. Because of this despair that I've just been feeling after the fire, after my son's death, and then after this fire. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that really happened, to us, to us here in Hawaii. And there's so much resentment for the military. And well, not even so much for them, but just their presence and their non-caring way that they do things here, What about poisoning the water and even with the poisoning of their own people, it's still like they're still unapologetic and still have all these fabulous words to convince people that, yeah, we are good stewards of, and we do care and all. I just like slapped them.
Anger and stress.
What about it? Anger and stress. Do I have that?
Yeah. How's your relationship to your anger and stress? Is there anything that you feel like mitigates it? Does activism help you cope? Do your friends help you cope?
Yes.
What helps you cope?
What's been helping me to cope of the last few months is my regular visits to the therapist. And when I started seeing her, I let her, when I was asked, what is the purpose of your visit here? And I had to say, not I had to say, but what I said was, I want to learn how to cope with this, with my anger and stress. Because I know that what I was doing couldn't be right because it just felt so miserable. And I didn't want to live the rest of whatever time I have left feeling like that. So I told the therapist that, I'm coming here because I want to learn how to cope with the way things are, with our illegal government, being under that occupation, and then when my son got sick and all of that, and I just, those things were so it messed me up so bad, and I knew that I had to have professional help to get through that, I knew I had to learn how to cope. And then when in January, Lynette had made a post on Facebook that really spoke loudly to me and reminded me that okay, if I believe myself to be an aloha aina, unless I am activated, doing something. That's not really, that's not being a true patriot, to just you know uh, wish for things and but not take action. I knew that was very missing. It was missing for me. It was I was like just too distracted by my own eha to so that I was not capable of activating myself, of taking aloha aina actions like a true activist does, in my opinion.
Is there any other reflections in general that you have about how this work has changed you or shaped you? Do you have hope for the future? Do you have hope for your own path right now in this moment?
In this moment, I am so filled with gratefulness for having been included, you know, in this weekend with you folks. It's truly uplifting for me, and just thank you very much. In this past couple of weeks, I was just reflecting on how it felt being up on the Mauna together, and me with you folks. I got I don't know how else to say it, but it changed my life. It really changed my life having been up there. And if it wasn't for my son, I would never have been able to make it or back there for as many trips as I did and stay as long as I did, because he got me the vehicle. He knew I didn't want to be anywhere far away from home and not have a vehicle. So, yeah. And just being up there around it, it just because as a self isolator, that was like the biggest treat, just to be around people, like-minded people, instead of just being by myself in my own little miserable box, and the first thing that I learned about being up there, that made me know that I had to be there, was that I was following all on Facebook, all the happenings up there with Lanakila, and from the very beginning, and when they tried to do that blessing, and Lanakila ran up barefooted. Oh my God! And I saw him just tell those people off. Just tell them like what it is, and all those dignitaries from all over the world and stuff. And but I just knew I had to be there when I saw that how the hubs was just immediately set up, and how everything is just free for people that were like-minded people about the Mauna. That was just amazing to me, and it made me so proud of. I knew that was a Kanaka thing, or shall I say a native thing, that the hubs was set up, and it wasn't the government that was doing that was helping our people. But I don't know what else to I don't know.
Just reflecting on the like things that are transformative for you is what it sounds like. Just you talking about these things that have changed your relationship to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and just giving you some insights about what you're saying, health and well-being, the different things that you need for not just to cope, but to feel like you have an impact. You have something to share.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it. I want to make an impact. I want to be able um, to affect some change, especially in the way that our children are in the DOE. Um, uh, I want to be able to affect that change, but I'm just not sure how personally, or what more I can do than to just share information among my own adult friends and hope that it will trickle down to the children. Yeah.